feels so good to see that Africans are investing in Africa. I mean, it feels so good to see Africans from different African countries investing in other African countries. Don't tell me something like this is not beautiful. My brother, my sister, the revolution is happening. It's time for a borderless Africa. It's time for each and every African out there to know that Africa belongs to Africans. Don't be scared in investing in another African country. It's your favorite village boy, Mr. Ghana Baby, and I'm here in Port Harcourt, Nigeria to share an inspiring video that will make you go out of your comfort zone to also go out there and invest in another African country. The story I'm going to share today is about a Gambian man who moved from Gambia, came to Nigeria to build this biggest estate in Port Harcourt that you're seeing on your screen. You know what you need to do for me? Like the video, subscribe and be part of the 700,000 YouTube subscribers. And you know what? I'm not going to talk too much. Come with me and get inspired. Hiya Maya. Mr. Mustafa, the Gambian that is making a huge impact in Nigeria. I mean, you're coming from a country with 2 million people and you're making a change in a country of over 200 million people. But brother, how did you do it?
Well, thank you. I mean, I would say destiny. Destiny brought me here. But I came out searching for opportunities. Searching for opportunities, and if you're searching for opportunities in Africa, Nigeria is the place to be. Because Nigeria has a population of 200 million. You know, and since I can compete, I can compete. I'm African, I'm human, I've got the capacity. If I want to expand in Africa, there's no place to be than Nigeria.
Nigeria is one of the countries that people from other countries don't want to hear. And you left Gambia to come and settle in here, which I think it's really incredible. I mean, so many of them watching us don't know your real name. My name is Wadamaya from Ghana. What is your name? And I know you're from Gambia. But yeah. What is your name, full name?
My name is Mustafa Njai, but everybody calls me Taf, like my company's name. Taf is short for Mustafa. Oh. So everybody calls me Taf. So I am from the Gambia. I am 63 years old. I don't look as old as I am. That's why I left this out here, so we can make a difference. Yours is black, mine is gray. But I've been doing this for 31 years now. My business has been on for the past 31 years. We started our business in 1990. 1990? Yeah, but I left school, I left high school, and I started working as a carpenter. And so for the past 45 years, I've been working in construction and technical related areas. No, let's get this clear. Yeah. You were a high school graduate. Yes. And then from there you became in 1975, yeah. And you became I had a passion for anything technical, working with my hands. So at high school, I was very good in carpentry, in metalwork, in technical drawing. And I just followed my passion.
Did you go to university?
No, I didn't. Straight from high school, actually, when I finished high school, which was one of the biggest high schools in the Gambia those days, 1975. Where were you in 75?
No, I was not born.
You were not born yet. So, so in 1975, I left high school with my O levels. Whoa. So rather than pursuing my higher education, I think it was also destined that, I will be who I am today through this. But I followed my passion. I was in love with just working, with my hands. So I taught actually at the school. I was a junior teacher, and then later I moved on to a technical training center as a junior instructor. Then later I worked with an international firm, and that's really where my construction career started. I was employed as an engineer's assistant, and I was just willing to learn anything to do with building construction. So I went up the ladder, from one thing to the other, being trained by highly qualified professionals. So I did it for about 15 good years. So apprenticeship is key, So these days, young people like yourselves, you want to run before you can crawl. So, I did 15 years of working with others before I started my own business. So like, all the mistakes I was supposed to do in business
was within the 15 years.
Was within the 15 years. So then when I started in 1990, I just shot up like a rocket.
I can't believe what is going on. I mean, you represent from grass to grace story.
Yeah, from modest backgrounds, like most success stories, I come from a very modest background, family, education, in a country that is also very small, the smallest in Africa, one of the smallest in Africa.
Have you ever done any project in the Gambia?
Oh, yes. I mean, we are actually the pioneer of private real estate development in the Gambia. We started it. TAF Africa Global was those days called TAF Construction. And then we migrated to TAF Holding Company. Then I diversified. I used to own a hotel. I did building material supplies. I did plant hire. And then finally, I came into real estate development. And the reason why I did real estate development, the story is all the same. My client base was mainly diasporans, people living in the diaspora. Because, every African who's out there in the diaspora in the West, they're dying to get a home back in their country. And the story is the same. They used to send monies to their families, their friends, and they will never build a house. So I thought, look, there is a market, it's a captive market, where you've got these Africans who can afford to build a house, but they don't have the serious developers to build it. So I just started with some few, and then I expanded, and have now doing really mass development. Anything that's under 1,000, I'm not interested. Because my vision over the next 20 years is to develop 1 million homes across sub-Saharan Africa. And that's why we're in Nigeria. Nigeria has a deficit, of over, nowadays, I'm sure it's close to 20 million. When I was here 8 years ago, I was told that it's 17 million deficit. And that's 8 years ago. The African population is growing at an average of about 3%. Exactly. And the supply has not been there. So obviously, now there's a deficit just in Nigeria alone over 20 million homes. So people like us, that's what we see as an opportunity. And we're here to partner with the right partners, and mainly one, government. In doing this, we need to partner with government. Okay. We need to partner with the financial institutions, the banks, so that they can finance the projects. And then, in Nigeria, remember, there are 36 governments here, apart from federal. There's 36 states. Exactly. So I call this the elephant of Africa. If you're looking for meat, you're going hunting, this is the place to be.
You came here 8 years ago, and the project that you've done is incredible. When I got here, I was blown away. Like, I can't believe that something like this actually exists in here. And it's not even for a Nigerian, but a Gambian. There should be one phrase or one code that keeps you moving, because what you've done is something that I think the whole Africa needs to come and see. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
What is that one favorite quote that keeps you moving?
Well, my role model is Nelson Mandela. I look up to him for a lot of things. I think every African should look up to Nelson Mandela. One, patience, vision, and also tolerance. So these are the things that drives me. And Nelson Mandela says one thing, that it always seems impossible until it's done. So when we came here, very few people believed in us. They thought, oh, no, that's another, fly-by-night or a 419, as we say in Nigeria. Oh, he's a scammer. He's saying, no, he doesn't need any money. All he needs is just the land. Oh, give him the land, let him see. And actually, even the land that I was given was all muddy. This is River State. River State, there's no land. So we had to sand field 650,000 cubic meters of sand to be able to, where you are now, this was all water. At high tide, it'll be 2 meters high, 2 meters deep of water. So we had to sand fill it. From the river, we pump it. At times, about 2 kilometers away, we'll get a dredger and dredge and fill it up, compact it. So real engineering really happened here. So it was always impossible. Some people thought, oh, this man must be crazy. So it's never impossible until it's done. So now it's done, everybody say, yes, it's possible.
Now everyone is.
So that's one quote that I want every African to remember. And it was said by Nelson Mandela, who is a father of not only the African, but anybody of African descent. Mandela says that it always seems impossible until it's done.
This is incredible. You mean like where we are walking right now used to be mud?
Yes, it's mud, and it was filled with water. At high tide, you will have an average about 2 meters of water at high tide. So we used to walk here. There was a pipe you know, about almost close to a kilometer long, that we had to walk on the pipe to get to the other end. So all this was sandfield. Where we're standing now, you couldn't walk like this. It was all mangroves, and then it was mud and also water, 2 meters deep.
How many hectares is this right now?
Well, 40 hectares. 40 hectares. The whole estate is 40 hectares of land.
You've been here for 8 years.
Yes.
And how many houses have you built so far?
We've built over 1,000 houses. Over 1,000. We have the apartments, which are about 600 and something hectares, 600 and something units. You know, then we have townhouses, we have villas. You know, in total, when everything is ready, it's over 1,000, about 1,100 and so.
So which means you're still building?
Yeah, we're still building. We're building. We're still building. We've sold out, but we're still building.
You know, before I want to know your first ever project that you built in here, did you ever live abroad?
No, never. Meaning abroad,
like
as in.
You stayed abroad to make all your money before coming back?
No. I was born, raised, and bred in the Gambia. You know, I am a made in Gambia product. I'm an African product. Everything I know, everything I have, everything I've made in my life, I made it in Africa.
And why are we saying, Africans are saying that it's not possible on the continent?
Well, it's because probably a lot of reasons. One, the right policies are not in place to encourage Africans, you know, to develop themselves and then to exploit opportunities. I'll give you a good example. Things like investor. Investor is synonymous to Western or somebody outside of Africa, not our color, not the black man. So, and I've heard that very often. People ask me, oh, who are your partners? You know, I don't need a partner. I can do probably what anybody can do who is of a different race. But in Africa today, anything big like this that you want to do, they think that it is done by somebody, as we call in Nigeria, Oyibo, meaning a white guy or a Chinese. And if you look at Africa today, we need to be very careful.
Yeah.
You know, because the African Continental Free Trade Area is on. It started 1st of January.
Exactly.
And you're going to have a population of 1 billion people. It's the biggest economy in the world. But what have we seen recently? We have seen all the big players, all the first, you know, the big players like big countries are now forging partnership with Africa. You know, Africa-China initiative, Africa-US, Africa-British, Africa-Europe. That is to get now Africa, you know, these guys still coming in and, you know, controlling our economy. It is high time that as Africans, we take ownership. And we hope that the African Continental Free Trade Area will empower Africans, you know, to take over the economy of Africa. And it can be done.
What will happen if Africans take ownership of what they have? What do you think will happen?
Well, you know, it will do a lot of things. It will eradicate poverty, because Africa is seen as the biggest, the poorest continent in the world. So if you empower Africans, they will create wealth. They will reduce unemployment. We see quite a lot of youth migration, you know, leaving Africa, going through the Sahara Desert, you know, going through the oceans, you know, into Europe. What, for greener pastures? So why are we getting all these things happening? It is because we haven't empowered Africans. And really what happens most of the time is that there is not the political will. We need to get our politicians to be committed in things like this, to make sure that Africans are empowered, you know, like African entrepreneurs to take over businesses. So employment is created, wealth is created, and then poverty is eradicated. This is the first project I've done outside of the Gambia, big project, and it's in River State, Port Harcourt, which is called the Garden City. You know, this is the Garden City.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me ask you: of all the places in Nigeria, why Port Harcourt?
Destiny brought me here.
Hey, you keep on saying
I was destined to be here. But the problem is that, look, there was an opportunity, because then in Port Harcourt there was nothing like this. And remember, in Port Harcourt, all the oil and gas companies are here. This is where the treasury of Nigeria is. This is where the wealth is. This is where the oil center is. So you have all the oil and gas companies, and obviously they need decent accommodation. So, and it wasn't here. So accommodation for these expatriates and Nigerians, you know, were very expensive. So I identified the need. There was the need for it. Then I took the risk. Everybody said, oh, it's too risky, don't come here, you know, kidnapping, everything. But where there's no risk, there's no returns. So I took the risk, and obviously I have a partnership with the River State government, and that was how this was born.
You built an affordable homes, because this is, I feel like this has the quality and also very affordable. But I just want to know, you being from Gambia, who are the people who actually built this?
Well, it was built by Africans. It was a mixture of Nigerians and also other African countries. Because I live in Gambia and also I've done work in Senegal, and we have very good artisans that I had to bring in. I ferried 400 Gambians and Senegalese across the border from Senegal and Gambia all the way overland to here. But apart from that, what we did was we trained the community. You know, because the community also, as you know, there are people who were unemployed, you know, young people. We trained them, and today I have some of those contractors that I trained here who are working now in my projects in Gambia. From here, from Port Harcourt, they are now working in Gambia. Yeah, actually 90% of my technical staff in the Gambia are Nigerians. My project manager, my engineers, my quantity surveyors, my managers. You know, because look, we are an African outfit. We don't see borders, and I think that's what the ACFTA is all about. That Africa without borders. So any African that is qualified, that can add value to what we are doing, we will take you on board.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Mr. Mustafa, I just want to know what makes this golf estate unique.
The Rift of Golf Estate is very unique. One, it's very well secured. So you have over 1,000 families living, you know, within a fenced property, and it's all very well secured. So you can leave your kids to play around, you know, and nobody, you know, they wouldn't have any security risk. That's one. Utilities, you know, in Nigeria, utilities is an issue.
Exactly.
Electricity, water supply, sewage, it's all serviced. So 24 hours power, 24 hours water supply, 24 hours sewage. So that makes it very unique. And also it's affordable.
It's affordable for everyone.
Yes.
So we have how many phases now?
We've got 2 phases. We've got the first and the second phase, and we are at the final end of just finishing the second phase.
And the final end of second phase is going to be what?
Well, it's mainly villas and the golf course. That's where the golf course is, and there's a golf clubhouse there. And we hope that by middle of this year, it should all be ready.
Mr. Mustafa, now I want to ask you questions concerning Africa and Africans.
Yes.
You know, you're from Gambia.
Yeah.
You came to invest in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's worth it for Africans to invest in other African countries, not just their own countries?
Yes, of course. You know, investment, there shouldn't be any barrier to investments. Because investments, you look at returns.
Okay.
So we should, as Africans, we should look at where opportunities are.
Okay.
And wherever there are opportunities, you know, obviously you mitigate your risk, you calculate your risk, and you should invest there. And this all you do by doing the right studies, doing the right due diligence. And, you know, from my experience, having invested in Nigeria for 8 years, you know, I think Africans should look out, you know, for countries beyond where their origin is. And wherever you feel that you can add value, you can obviously make good returns, you should head out there. Because Africa should be boundaryless or borderless.
Do you think Africa is the future?
It is already here. We're not talking about the future anymore, because the African Continental Free Trade Area, it's on. It's on already from January 1st. So tariff barriers are going to be removed. You know, some tariffs are going to be removed. So if you manufacture or do something in one of the countries, you can move it to others. So we're not talking about the future, we're talking about now. So Africans should get up and take ownership. Let's not wait for others to come and exploit all these opportunities.
If you had one thing to change about Africa, what will it be?
Leadership.
How?
Every leadership within our lives, we need to look at it. Political leadership, religious, society, social, you know, business. The thing that is bringing Africa down is poor leadership. If our leaders do the right thing, then Africa will shoot up. So if there's one thing that we need to address leadership.
How do we address leadership?
By making sure that we train them with the right values. We need to start from a very young age, getting young kids, you know, trained with the right values, so that they will do away with corruption. Corruption is killing Africa. And we're thinking that it's part of our life to be corrupt. That even if you're not corrupt, they think that you are not really African. You know, so that should stop. And we should work on now creating future leaders by making sure that the good values of leadership is inculcated in their brains. They grow with it. They are disciplined. For example, like in Singapore, what you see in Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, you know, started around the same time that African president started. But he changed Singapore today. The reason is because there is discipline. You know, those who are in front are trained to have the right leadership values.
Singapore did not use democracy. Do you think Africa needs democracy?
That's another debate. I don't go into politics. I am an entrepreneur. That's another debate for me. Whether democracy or not democracy.
We do our business.
Yes, I do my business. And all I am saying is that, look, there are values in leadership.
Yes, yes.
Some few values. For example, you should be disciplined. You should be honest. You should be hardworking. You know, you should have maybe a man of integrity.
Exactly.
You know, so just to name these four, some of our leaders today don't have this. Today it's one, tomorrow it's the other. Or today you are green, the next day you are yellow. You know, you must believe in something. You must, you know, have confidence in yourself. You know, so there are really core values of leadership that every leader should have. And that is what is missing in African leaders.
We have so many Africans watching us right now. If you have a message to all Africans, both Africans in the diaspora and Africans living in Africa, what would that message be?
Well, my message is that, look, there's no shortcut to success. There are two things that you must do to be successful. You must be able to work hard and be honest. This is the formula to success. So every African, especially you, the young ones, should bear this thing in mind. Because I get this question quite often. You know, young people walk up to me, oh, Uncle Mustafa or Mr. Mustafa, I want to be like you. Can I share your story? I mean, it was hard work. It doesn't happen overnight. A young African starts a business, the next thing is he's a CEO. My friend, you cannot start being a CEO. You have to start from the bottom of the ladder and then build yourself up. You need to go through an apprenticeship and you must be honest. You know, we must be honest in everything you do, your relationship at the family level, society, you know, business, you know, politics. We must inculcate in honesty in African society.
I just want to say thank you so much for talking to me. I appreciate your time, but it's not going to be the last time I'm seeing you because I get to know that you have a lot to share. You're from Gambia. You've done a project in Gambia. So I think I'll see you in Gambia.
See you in Gambia. Actually, in Gambia, we have, as I told you, we have a vision to develop 1 million homes over the next 20 years. And Gambia is our base. You know, we're going to build, you know, the biggest free zone within an airport in the whole of West Africa. 160 hectares of a free zone.
In Gambia?
In the Gambia. And we are building our biggest estate, which really is my retirement project, which is called the Pearl Gardens. Hey, you know, we're going to build, it's over 300 hectares of land. And this time, we're bringing agriculture into our estates. So everything that people eat should be grown within our estate.
You're retiring at the age of what?
At the age of 90.
Thank you so much for watching this amazing episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hey, we need to reach 700,000. I mean, this video should get 1 million views. You don't think so?
But then you will pay me then. We have to share now. That's the bit. No, I'm very Nigerian now. In Nigeria, there's no free lunch. Everything you have to settle. So please, Maya, you have to settle me. Let's agree. Everybody's watching.
Okay,
please subscribe to this video. And remember, when we hit 1 million, I'm going to share with Maya. So subscribe to this video.
This video is full of inspiration. That's why I'm saying that every African out there needs to get a piece of this video. Do me a favor, be part of it. Share this video to friends and family. I am Maya. Peace out. That was a good video.
Thank you.